Well, we're excited to get this season started off. This upcoming Thursday at home against an outstanding opponent. A lot of history and tradition in Penn State. We definitely realize we'll have our hands full. This is a very talented team, well coached, a lot of athletes. They're big. As I said before, we played them 3 years ago, and it's 21-0 before we blinked. And we just kind of had to fight and scrap just to not get blown off the field. So this will really test us and see where we stand right off the bat. But that's why you play the game. I do know our guys have worked hard between the time of last season and this upcoming game. Our coaches have put a lot into time, but so has every team across the country. So we've got to go out and play at a high level. I know on defense they have 6 or 7 guys back. They didn't have their best player on the D-line in the bowl game, number 97, who is definitely a force. He's somebody that we're going to have to account for at all times because he's one of the best in the country in our opinion. They have a veteran secondary safety who's played a lot of football. He's instinctive, makes a lot of plays, number 16, so holds the field. 2 corners that have experience, number 9, number 4. Number 9's big, long, and can play football, and the other one does a very good job as well. As you watch, even just watch the last football game they played, the bowl game. Really, Arkansas didn't do anything in the passing game. It was a bunch of quarterback run stuff that they were able to succeed with, that's how they found a way to win. On offense, they have really good tight ends, really good running backs, and a quarterback that has a ton of experience, and a couple good receivers. So, we're going to have our hands full there. We're going to have to really play good, solid brand of football in order to win. Luckily, it's at home in front of our fans, which is great. We expect a great turnout. I know our players appreciate that and look forward to a great atmosphere, and hopefully we can go out there and play well.
Questions?
Hey, Jeff, do you like opening with a Big Ten game?
Well, I think if you can open with someone non-conference that you feel good, you have a good chance to possibly win. It's always a comfort zone, but at the same time, we know we have a great schedule. It's like that every year. At some point, you're going to play really talented football teams. We're going to do it right off the bat, and I think it's just what it does do is it helps you focus more on the off season and fall camp, and understand that as coaches and players, you got to get ready to go, or it's going to be a long day. So I do think we put in a lot of hard work. Now you got to go out and execute against guys you haven't played against in a while. Do all the small things correctly, and our guys are going to have to perform at a high level in order to win.
And just the importance of this game. I know everybody takes it one game at a time, but still, national television, blackout. You got a blue blood program coming in. Just a great opportunity, I guess. Not just to open the year with a win, but maybe make a statement nationally.
Well, that's one of our strengths. Our guys have a chip on their shoulder. They all think they've been overlooked to a certain degree, and they're out to prove themselves. They're willing to put in the work to get it done. They love playing great opponents. So we've had a couple good games where we've risen to the challenge. At the same time, Penn State's going to be hungry. I know last year didn't go exactly the way they wanted, but they're very talented. And they're very physical, and they're fast. So they present challenges to us that, you're normally going to face 1 or 2, maybe 3 teams of this caliber every year. And right off the bat, it just means that we've got to be able to do it game 1. I do feel like we have some experience, so you hope that can help you as you get going. But at the same time, it's a new team, it's a new year, and new players have to step up and emerge.
You've talked in glowing terms about Nick Carraway, and you expect him to contribute. I guess that's still going to be the case Thursday night, Jeff. Are there any other true freshmen you anticipate maybe playing, a fairly significant role?
No, I think right now Nick has been able to practice and stay healthy all camp. He's a big physical player that really is instinctive. He's got quickness. He's got toughness. At the same time, it's his first game, so you got to be careful that you don't put him in positions where he can't have success. But he has shown that he can make plays for us, so we're going to have to make sure we get him in the game at certain times and see how he's doing, how he's feeling, and go from there.
In the tight end spot, you seem to have some concerns after the scrimmage a couple weeks ago. Just talk about that spot without Garrett Miller and maybe how ready you think Paul Ferry is maybe to help, and if he's still really going to have a willingness maybe to still deploy those 2 tight end sets.
Well, losing Garrett was a blow. He was a very talented tight end. He could run. He had really good size, and he blocked really, really well. And he came into his own last year. It was unfortunate that he hurt his knee. He was having a great camp and could really stretch the field for us and provide a blocking element because of his toughness and tenacity. So he's going to be missed. Payne Durham, we've had to make sure we kept him healthy all camp, so he's been limited just to make sure we get him to the game. Paul Peferi will be his backup. He's a converted quarterback, so Paul has worked hard to get better. In the passing game comes more natural to him. Blocking at the point of attack and doing those things is a little bit harder. So we've just got to make sure when he's in there, we're asking him to do things that he's capable of, and so we've got to be really conscious of that. We're working to get in the backup tight ends behind them ready, but they still have a little ways to go, and a couple have been out for a while in camp. So that presents a little bit of a dilemma, but at the same time, you got to put your best 11 guys on the field, figure a way to give them the ball, create some plays, and get some points, and we've got to just be somewhat strategic and smart with it.
Hi, Jeff. Just some personnel guys with Jalen Graham, Branson Dean. Will they be good to go for Thursday?
They should be ready to play, yes.
Right. T. Dennison, is he going
No,
to
T. Dennison's going to be out for quite an extended period of time with his injury. He's hasn't come around as fast as we all would like, and that's going to take quite a bit more time.
Can this be one of your best special team units across the board? And if so, why?
Well, we'll see. I don't know if I go that far yet. I do know that we have experience with our specialists, so our kickers, our punter, our snappers. We do have better returners right now. So we've got to piece it together. And, we prepared and planned hard for it. We have a new special teams coordinator that has done a really good job and understands what we're trying to do and added his element of some things on a couple of the teams that we have. But really it's about getting your best athletes on the field, making sure you cover, don't give up big plays, and then figuring out ways to get a couple returns that can help us. And I just think gaining an advantage in special teams in every game is going to be important. And sometimes it doesn't have to be a drastic advantage, but we can't lose that battle. Some of the teams we play are too tough that offense, defense, and special teams have to figure out a way to gain at least a slight advantage, or it's not going to help us win.
Where's your comfort level with Charlie Jones returning punts? And he says he doesn't like the fair catch, and that's something you value field position during your tenure here in that area. Where's your balance and comfort level with him and letting him kind of make plays?
Well, we're going to do that for sure. I think he gives us an element we haven't had. He's very natural in catching the football. He's very natural in making guys miss initially, which is really important in the punt return game because you're going to have one or two guys flying at you that you've got to be able to react quickly. He's a good runner with the ball in his hand, and we've just got to create some lanes for him to do that. But I think in the punt return game, he can go catch the ball and go field them, which is half the battle, making sure it doesn't bounce and roll. And I think he can cover ground and get yards. And I think in the kick return game, he wants to be probably more aggressive than we want as far as returning the ball out of the end zone. But we do want to allow him the ability to be aggressive because he has a ton of experience there, and he gives us an element that we need to take advantage of.
With your transfer, Charlie and Tyrone and Reese are guys are going to play for sure on Thursday. I mean, just where you at, where your transfers at as far as having an impact in this opener beyond those three?
Well, I think our transfers will have a huge impact, and that's why we brought them in. So when you look at offense, Charlie Jones and Tyrone Tracy have been very productive in camp. They've got to make plays for us and be some of our difference makers for us to win. On the offensive line, Sione at guard and Daniel Johnson provide us depth and will be in the rotation. And they've done a good job this camp. So I think at that position as well, that has helped us. We can move to defense. Reese Taylor has done an outstanding job at corner for us. We've been been able to keep him healthy through camp. He's instinctive. He makes plays. He's played a lot of football. We really like what he brings to the table. Scotty Humpage at the defensive end position has got natural size, ability, athleticism, and he needs to be a playmaker for us on defense. And Bryce Hampton is going to have to play in the secondary. We're not super deep in the secondary. We're working hard to get better at that. But those should be the main ones that stand out. I'm sure I'm forgetting a few, but those guys are going to play for us.
What's it like to have 3 quarterbacks in your secondary with Jalen and Reese and Cam?
Well, it honestly gives them an advantage. When you play the position, you can understand route concepts, look at the quarterback's eyes, shoulder, all the things that give you indicators of how to break on a ball, make plays. Jalen Graham had a really tremendous year last year. We hope he builds upon that. He needs to be a leader for us. He needs to play as hard as he can in between the whistles and make plays. Cam Allen, I think keeps getting better and better. He needs to just do his thing, be in position, and then make tackles when he needs to. And Reese Taylor definitely has great instincts. It's hard for us to get open on him. So I'm hoping that's because he's really good, not because we're not able to get open, but he's done really good. So I think their background of just playing football and understanding the game is very beneficial.
Just how many offensive linemen do you feel comfortable with going Thursday?
Well, I could see us probably playing around 8 offensive linemen. If it goes up to 9, it wouldn't shock me. Keeping guys healthy and fresh is going to be important as well. But we do feel like at this point there is some more depth in guys that are getting closer to get on the field. And once again, at that position and as well as the others, who are going to be the difference makers? Who can we count on? Who are going to make plays? Who are going to be dominant in every game? That's what you like to see. Even guys like Greg Long stepped up last year and in some games was a really great force for us at that position. So we just have to get difference makers emerge, and sometimes you don't know until you get them on the field, and that's where we're a little young at right now. Where these first couple games will tell us who those guys will be.
Is Mark Hagan going to get his dream of having three teams to rotate in there on the defensive line?
Well, we are going to rotate in. He probably likes rotating more than I do because I want our best guys on the field. But we do have a lot of depth at that position, and I think we will play quite a few guys. But you want your best guys to be in the game more than the others and get a feel. And sometimes the more you're in there, you understand what's going on. You can hear cadences. You can understand who's blocking you, and you know who you're going against. So it's got to be a perfect balance. But keeping guys fresh is always important. But I do feel like at that position we have built some depth to provide competition and to play more young men.